Hey everyone, it's Rob with Passport to the Parks, and today is Wednesday, July the 10th, and after spending all day yesterday at the Grandestino Tower grand opening over at Coronado Springs, I decided to come over here to the Magic Kingdom and see what is now missing in Tomorrowland. Yes, the sign for Tomorrowland at the entrance is gone. They've taken it down. Apparently there's going to be some new sign that's going to be put up eventually, but right now there is nothing here when you walk in. So we're going to take a look at it, we're going to talk about it. We may go and look at some other stuff that's happening in Tomorrowland as well. We'll see how it goes. Kind of fighting the rain here right now, and it is extremely over-the-top humid here right now. So everybody's kind of miserable walking around, but we're going to look at it. We're going to see what it's all about, and we'll go from there. Visit passporttotheparks.com, though. You can see all kinds of great information. See everything that happened yesterday. It was really an awesome time. And subscribe here on YouTube if you haven't done that. I really would appreciate that. So with that being said, I'm going to turn you around. We'll take a look, and we'll start talking about it. Well, when you first look at it, it is a huge difference. It's just a completely wide open space. If you've never been here before and you walk through it, I mean, it's not bad. It doesn't look bad. You would just never realize that anything was there, and you just simply go into Tomorrowland and it's not a big deal. But, you know, being here and the rich history that that sign had and not seeing it anymore, it is a drastic difference as soon as you walk into Tomorrowland. It's definitely going to be missed. I mean, I like new directions and I like seeing new things, but, you know, I'm very sensitive to the Disney of the past and keeping a lot of the integrity of the old school Disney and everything. So I like a lot of the old stuff, but I do like a lot of change. I mean, I'm really happy about Tron coming here, even though I'm not a roller coaster person, but we'll get to that. But this is pretty amazing here. This is a really big drastic difference when you walk in. So this is all that remains. These are where the two pillars used to stand. There's one here and there's one on the other side. So I'm not sure if these will eventually go for whatever new sign is coming, but this is pretty much all that's here still. It's kind of sad to see, but we'll have to wait and see what the new sign will look like. I'm sure it'll be very cool. At least they keep the cool music in the background still. Of course, you have the purple rocks and the famous purple wall. It's not really that crowded here, and it doesn't seem like people are like stopping and noticing the sign, so some people may not even realize it when you walk in. It's kind of funny, and maybe it's not even that noticeable unless you really come here daily or you're really a Disney nerd, so you would remember that sign, but it doesn't seem like people are really, you know, stopping to pay homage or anything like that. See, when we pan around here from the castle, there's just nothing here, just empty space. Get a great view of the Astro Orbiter now. And of course the People Mover, which is completely awesome. They better not ever touch the People Mover. Please don't ever touch the People Mover. I do love this music. This really still makes me feel like Tomorrowland. You know, it's kind of funny what you miss when you walk in here, and normally you'd be looking up at the sign, which is no longer above us, but it's kind of funny, I've really never noticed this big gear on the ground before. Now I wonder if this is also going to go, because they're trying to get away from that steampunk stylization that they kind of had going on through here. So I wonder if the gears and things will eventually change. This is embedded into the concrete, so they'd have to replace the entire slab of concrete through here. It's probably a big job, but I wonder if eventually this will go when they do put up a new sign here, so we'll have to wait and see. Take a look at beautiful Cinderella Castle in the background. Then of course as we pan around, there's nothing there. Progress is always good, as Walt Disney said, but he never said that it would be so sad. So this actually does make me kind of sad. I really miss that sign. I hope they replace it with something much better and that will capture all of our hearts, but you never know. We still have Cinderella Castle though. So beautiful. So when we talk about things that have been replaced or updated here at Tomorrowland, I think Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor is actually a pretty good update. It replaced the Timekeeper, which personally I never really came to when I would visit Disney. I think it was back in the 90s, or yeah, that was back in the 90s, and I think Laugh Floor actually got replaced maybe in 2000 sometime. But this is actually a really great show. I love the Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. I laugh every single time I go in there. The show is different every single time. I love how they, pick out guests from the audience and everything, so it's a lot of fun. So this is actually a really great change that I was happy to see. Now as we pan to the left, this is a different story though. Stitch's Great Escape, or I think that's what it's officially called, or Stitch's Alien Encounter. Maybe that's the character reading, but I think this was Stitch's Great Escape. But this was just a debacle, I think. It replaced the Alien Encounter, which I thought was just a fantastic experience here in Tomorrowland. Now, it was intense, and I think it was a little too intense for a lot of small children, but the experience inside was just over the top. I mean, if you've ever been on this before, I just remember that alien was just so real when you'd come through it. And I remember it breathing on your neck, and that hot drool like dripping down your neck and everything, and it was just really scary. And the alien would grab you and press down on your shoulders. Now Stitch kind of gave you that similar experience, but nothing compared to the drama, nothing compared to the real terror that the Alien Encounter did. So as far as this being an upgrade, I was not happy. I love Stitch. I would love to see Stitch reincorporated somehow through here. I'm not even sure what's going on with Stitch over here. It's not been open for quite a while. I don't know if they're redoing it or just going to reimagine it in some way. But I loved Alien Encounter, so as far as an upgrade here, you don't got my vote for that one. When we look straight ahead, this has been the way I remember it since I've been coming here. So the Astro Orbiter hasn't changed. Not something that I personally ride because, I'm not a heights person. And then, of course, you have the People Mover. And the People Mover is one of my favorite rides. Probably, a lot of people's favorite rides. So hopefully they won't do anything with the People Mover. If they want to enhance it in any way, if they want to have it go in different directions or see different scenery, change some of the things, I wouldn't touch it too much though, because I really love that niche, kind of 1930s, 1920s look at the future that you see as you're going through it. Plus it has the Epcot, the experimental prototype community of tomorrow model that's going through there as well. So a lot of cool stuff with that. So those are some positive things and a couple negative things in Tomorrowland. So you really can tell a pretty dramatic difference when we look back the opposite direction with that sign gone. It is just wide open space down there. I really don't like it. I miss that sign. I hope they go vertical with whatever sign that they put up there, and you still get to walk underneath it. And I hope it lights up just as awesome as the old one did. But it looks really bare right now. So fingers crossed they're gonna really wow us whatever they replace it with. So right now, just wide open space. So another updated ride here in Tomorrowland is the Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. Now everybody really loves this attraction. Obviously the lines are always long. It's like a 40-minute standby right now. I personally think this is getting a little dated as well, so maybe they could do some updating to this. You can keep Buzz Lightyear in here. I mean, I love him. I love Toy Story. Again, I'm really partial to the 80s and the 90s, and I loved Dream Flight. If you had wings, I would just, Delta Dream Flight was one of my favorite attractions here, and I just loved going through it. It was pretty much the same ride track and everything that you would go through, but it was just about the origin of flight and everything. It was just a lot of fun. But Space Ranger Spin is cool. I just think it does need a little bit of an update, so we'll see what happens. As you can see, this is more of the line for Buzz Lightyear, so it is still definitely very popular. So we'll just pan around a little bit, look at the People Mover above us. Now, something that makes me very, very happy is that I see a pretty decent line here for the Carousel of Progress. Carousel of Progress is one of my favorite attractions in all of Walt Disney World. My daughter and I love to come and watch this. We sing the music. It's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow. Absolutely fantastic. The Sherman Brothers, one of their finest moments, I think, is when they wrote Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow. It's one of my favorite Disney songs of all time. I hope this never goes anywhere. There's always talks of how, they want to update attractions, and Tomorrowland is really under the thumbprint now being updated. So I truly hope they do not try to do anything with Carousel of Progress. Just leave it back here tucked in the corner. And this is one of Walt Disney's babies. So just please, let's leave it alone. But it's still here, and it's got a good line, so a lot of people still enjoy it. I actually may jump on this before I leave here today myself. So Carousel of Progress, thumbs up from me. It's kind of crazy, and this is going way back, but there actually used to be an outdoor theater that was located behind this wall. So you would go back there, and it was called the Tomorrowland Theater in the 80s and the early 90s. But I think it was around 94 or 95. They changed it to, I believe, the Galaxy Theater. The earlier theater showed, I think, Disney World is Your World, and then they updated it to kind of a futuristic, stylistic show after that when it changed to the Galaxy Theater. I just remember going back there, and there was this big, I want to say it was like a dinosaur that would come out, and I think he was dressed like Elvis. I mean, it was this huge like dinosaur head that would come out of the stage, and he would sing and everything, and it was like a dance show, and just a lot of fun. But that's no longer there, and that theater is long since gone. There were, you know, stadium seating or bench seating back there, and it had the stage, and it was just a lot of fun. So that's gone, unfortunately. Something I do miss. And then, of course, the People Mover. Always crowded, but the line always moves pretty fast because it's constantly loading and unloading, which is awesome, just like the Disney Skyliner. But extremely popular. I wouldn't see them doing anything with the People Mover, fingers crossed. It's just such an amazing attraction. You can come here, you can just really sit back and relax, get a nice breeze, and see all this beautiful Disney history as you go through Tomorrowland. Astro Orbiter is the same, extremely popular. It's pretty much a long line all the time just because you have to wait for those elevators to go up. But really awesome, and it's really cool to see. I mean, that is just a staple of Tomorrowland. And that is not, it doesn't look dated to me. I think they could really keep this, the planets and everything up there. I think it looks spectacular, so let's hope they don't mess with that. Another interesting spot tucked back here is the Tomorrowland stage. Now, they use this for a lot of dance parties or special events and things like that, and it's actually a lot of fun when there's actually something going on here. It's really lively, music, there's usually a DJ up there, and there's all kinds of dancing and all kinds of fun characters come out. But for the most part, if there's nothing going on, if there's no stage show or anything, this is pretty much just dead space back here. So if you pan around, you look around, there's like really no one that comes back here. There's the Carousel of Progress. Then there's the sound booth for whenever they do have any kind of performances here. But I can understand why they're keeping it. You know, they need the space for these dance parties and everything. But, you know, it's just kind of odd when you walk through here and it's just kind of this stage that just sits here empty. It does look a little dated to me as well, so maybe they could do some updating through here. You never know, we'll see. Now as we pan over to the left, these are the big guns. These are the staples. Space Mountain, and then obviously you can see just beyond the scaffolding there, you can see the crane that is building the new Tron roller coaster attraction. So we'll see what we can see over there. It's a little further back towards Space Mountain here. They still have the palm tree lights. These are very steampunk looking too, so I don't know if they'll actually stay. I actually like them when they're lit up. I think they're pretty cool. Then, of course, in the distance back here, you have Space Mountain, which is a very popular attraction. It's just a very cool building. It's obviously been an icon at Walt Disney World here for quite a long time, so I don't think this will go anywhere for quite a while, if ever. When I look at this this building, I think it's the gift shop and where you exit from Space Mountain. Again, I don't do roller coasters, so I really don't come through here much. But this always reminds me of the Hall of Justice. I don't know if you remember the 70s Saturday morning cartoon, The Super Friends, but this it reminds me of the Hall of Justice, their building that they used to house the Super Friends in. So that's what I see when I see that. So, and there's more gears on the top of that. So again, I don't know if that's going to go in the future or not. We'll have to wait and see. And of course, the Tomorrowland Speedway. Thank goodness this stayed through the Tron construction. It was shut down for quite a while they were working on Tron. You can see a giant mound of dirt in the Tron construction area back there. But there were some rumors that I had heard that they were actually going to go with electric cars. I don't know if they'll still do that in the future. I had heard that they were going to kind of relate it to a Tron theme out here as well and have more of a car of the future. So you didn't really get this gasoline smell out here that everybody complains about. But I love these cars. I mean, this is classic old school Disney, and I'm glad they haven't touched it. I would be fine if they were to do some sort of an electric car update. Maybe keep that cool engine sound, but as far as it staying for now, I'm totally happy with it, and I'm glad that they kept it around. So kind of a neat piece of information. This ship right here that a lot of people probably overlook, this was actually a model ship that they used in Flight of the Navigator. It was a live-action movie that Disney did back in the 80s, back when Disney actually did original live-action movies and not just remakes of live-action movies. But they kind of added some of the different effects on the side here and just souped it up a little bit. But Flight of the Navigator ship right there. It's very, very cool. A little more Tomorrowland Speedway just because it is so cool. Gotta admit, this is a really, really fun ride. Especially when you're a little kid, when you get to drive that car, there's nothing better. And of course you have the Merchants of Venus, you have Anti-Gravity's ice cream and smoothies back here. There's some restrooms and then Star Traders. Now, did I mention that the Tomorrowland Speedway is pretty cool? No, I'm just kidding. Well, it is cool, but I'm actually over here because you can see some of the Tron construction just through the trees in the distance here. You can see some of the roller coaster track in place. Obviously that giant crane that's there to help assist pulling those giant pieces of track up into the air. We're going to walk around a little bit. We'll get some different angles and see what we can see. And of course, here we are at Tron, and this is just really, really stunning how far they've come with this track so far. Let me zoom in just a little bit here. Again, I'm not a roller coaster person, but this really looks impressive. This is actually coming along really quick, and I think the track is really not going to be the hard part here. I think what's going to take the most time, and why they're still looking at 2021 for this to open, would be the fact that they have to build that entire shelter over the top. What's going to make this roller coaster look so amazing is that sort of neon blue covering that's over the top of it, and then they have all the inner parts of the track as you're going through the light cycles, and it's got all that neon and all that cool stuff, all the effects. So that's really going to take a long time. The track, I think, is going to come really quick. Obviously, we can see it's really coming along impressively here. There's Space Mountain over to the right as well. You can see just in proximity to where it's at. There's Bay Lake Tower in the back as well. But I'm really super excited about Tron coming here. Again, not a roller coaster person, but I love this attraction. I think it's perfect for Tomorrowland. I think it's a perfect direction for them to go in. I think the colors are awesome. That vibrant blue, that neon blue that they're going to use. I think the building is going to be seen from, all over Disney property, on top of the Gran Destino Tower, on top of Bay Lake Tower, all that stuff. It's going to look amazing. It's going to enhance Space Mountain. It's going to enhance and really change the whole look and feel of Tomorrowland. So I'm fine with them working around this attraction and sort of incorporating other things like the Tomorrowland Speedway, hopefully, and the electric cars would be very cool. But just really cool to see how far they've come, and I'm really looking forward to this attraction. Even though I'm not going to ride it, my daughter definitely will, and my wife will. But pretty impressive. I'll zoom in just a little bit more here, really get some good looks at it. I don't know much about roller coasters, but I don't know if these are launch tracks. I know it's supposed to launch you pretty quickly up a hill, and then you're spinning around, you're on top of these light cycles. It's going to be pretty amazing. Some really intricate work. I was able to watch them pour all the concrete back here overnight, and that was really cool. They had this lit up just like a stadium back here, and they had just hundreds of cement trucks that would come through and were pouring these concrete, and then they had these big alien looking arms that would sort of pour the concrete from up high, and it was just this whole process. Definitely check out that video. In fact, I'll put a link in the description to that video because that was really cool to see. All right, last big look. There we go. There's that giant crane up there, and of course the Tron light cycle. I grew up on Tron. I mean, I always dreamed about having one of these light cycles. I think every kid did. Unfortunately, just a little too intense for me, but I'm gonna love watching my daughter ride this and sort of live my dream through her of being able to ride this light cycle. So thumbs up for Disney. Way to go bringing this attraction to Walt Disney World. One thing I forgot to mention is you can actually see part of where the railroad is cut off here. So there's a green fence basically that's crossing over the railroad tracks. They needed so much construction space. They've shut down the Walt Disney World Railroad until this is completed. So we're looking, at least probably till 2020 before they get that reopened maybe even all the way to the very end. But we'll see. There's actually a sign that says derail. Don't go in there, derail, stop. It's kind of funny. Then of course we can never forget Ray's Starlight Cafe. I actually enjoy eating here a lot. They recently did just some renovations through here. They expanded some of the seating and just did some general renovations on the inside. So let's run inside and take a quick look. The big difference in here right now is Cosmic Ray is actually gone at the moment, but apparently he is going to return. He's just going to have a different look. Hopefully he'll still have that same woody charm. I actually enjoyed his crazy jokes and crazy humor and music, so can't wait for him to actually come back. Some people didn't enjoy it. I was one of those people who actually did. So he is gone for now, but will return, and you can see just the rest of the restaurant here. Very similar to what it's always been. You still have the launch bays, bay 1, 2, and 3. Just a nice place to come to get a good bite to eat. So one thing that Disney won't ever be able to change are the Tomorrowland ducks. They're still just as cute as ever, and we're still going to find them here, no matter what part of the future we live in. And you can see as the sun starts to set, and that beautiful Florida sky is in the background, this lovely Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor sign, these Stitches Great Escape sign, the neon purple, the neon red, and then ahead of us, just wide open space. It's pretty sad, but we have to embrace change, and we're going to wait to see what Disney does for us. I think it's going to be pretty spectacular. I think they have a pretty good scheme in mind for what they want to do for Tomorrowland. So we'll just have to wait and see, and I think it's all going to start with this sign. This will give us a really good idea of the direction that they are going to head in once they put this sign up. So I can't wait to see it. Oh, look at this sky. This is seriously unbelievable. That is gorgeous. This was unexpected. See, even nature likes to step in and help the Magic Kingdom out, help Walt Disney World out, because you just can't paint skies like this. That is absolutely stunning. Look at Cinderella Castle. Oh, that is lovely. Just a little more of how Tomorrowland comes to life when the sun goes down. And of course, this is where the sign once was, but is no longer. Okay, and our last look into Tomorrowland. As the sun goes down, Astro Orbiter does look amazing. You get a really nice clear shot of Astro Orbiter, at least now. Okay, just one more shot. This is really cool. You guys know how much I love reflections, so I really have to share that. I love reflections in the water, and the lights really look awesome. You can see the mountains reflecting in the water. All right, cool. Now I'm done. Okay, everyone, so there you have it. Do we embrace the change or do we fear the change? What do you think about the sign being gone? What do you think about the potential future of Tomorrowland? Curious to know what you think down in the comments. What is your favorite attraction here now? I'm also curious about that. My favorite attraction currently probably would still be the People Mover and the Carousel of Progress. Old attractions, I really love Delta Dream Flight. So just curious to know what your thoughts are, what you like and what you don't like. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Definitely check out passporttotheparks.com. You can see all kinds of great information there. And please subscribe here on YouTube if you haven't done that. And with that being said, you guys have a great night, and we'll talk to you very, very soon. Bye-bye.